And I retired in 2005. My only family I had left was in Georgia, so we wanted to be closer to them. And my first time back here, I intentionally wanted to stay away for a while and let's see how it developed. My first time back was this past week, and I was almost speechless with how well our vision has been carried out, and the many, many people that it has taken to achieve that are too numerous. You know, we don't have time for me to list so many of them, but it was a group effort, foundation involvement. At one point in the period, I was very involved in, they wanted to build a library here and they wanted to build it somewhere else. And I said, we must keep a library in the downtown area. They had outgrown the other building. And so we worked with, again, some concerned citizens that were longtime people in the community, the Battaglias, and we got them to donate the property, and we worked with the library board, and we're sitting in the place that we developed today. And it's such a beautiful facility used by, we knew that with the trail in close proximity, it would provide easy access, centrally located, and it fit with our vision of making downtown the downtown. In 2004, the current city manager, Mike Ballhofer, and I and Marshall Robertson were on a field trip, and we saw because I was not above stealing good ideas from anybody. No pride of authorship. We found City Hall that we liked. We immediately came back with some plans, got the commission to approve the concept in 2004, and we had acquired much of the property that was needed for that project. And part of our vision was, even if we're growing to the south of 50, we knew the population center might shift to that direction. If you're going to do business with the city, you're going to come downtown. And so we acquired the property necessary to put the city hall where it is today. Mike and the other people did a super job in getting the footprint so that it fit our available property, and I am so impressed with. I was disappointed I couldn't be there for the end of it, but Mike and the mayor, John Reese, and others did a fantastic job. And that's sort of my story, unless you have other questions.
Well, what do you think the future holds for Winter Garden?
I think it is as bright as any place that I have currently been able to visit. And I think it's bright because there are people that care. I think it's important that we create the next generation to appreciate the history of Winter Garden, and at the same time stay current and adaptable to changing times. I think the people that I know and have talked to, they see it as bright as well. There's always issues that we'll have to deal with, and that's why you continuously review your plans and adjust accordingly and take advantage of the opportunities that arise. And I think the leadership in the city now is that way. I live in another small town that does not have that vision. There are people that have the vision, but they can't come together and agree on what the direction is. And as a result, they tend to be a pass-through, not a destination. And there were times when people said Winter Garden, a phrase that I hated to hear in the 90s, early 90s, was winter garbage. I don't think they call us that anymore. And it's a testimony to everything that of those people that have been involved, not only myself, but the ones that have followed and the ones that are still here. So, does that answer?
That was wonderful, and I really want to take this opportunity to thank you for your foresight and your vision. As a new resident of Winter Garden, my family and I benefit from your thoughts and your actions, and we appreciate your service to the community.
Well, Joan, I know that you know that when you love something and you have a passion for it, it can bring out the best. Sometimes it brings out intensity and desire to see it completed that you have to control, but I love the town so much. It meant so much to me, and in particular the downtown part, from growing up so close to it. I laugh because my mother we always came to the stores downtown, and Kay Calpum and her husband's parents had the grocery store. And I laughed, somebody told me that years later when my mother and father, we moved from 58 North Boyd, which is about 25 yards from the center of town, to 203 North Boyd, that's another 50 yards farther. They said, well, some of the merchants then were taking up donations to try to get you to move farther to the lake, because there were fascinating things to watch. You know, we had an ice plant. They made ice. You know, you might not think it's fun to watch ice made, but it is. We had the Winter Garden Times. It was right there, and see the printing set and watch the printing presses. My point is, it was a vibrant downtown. I took every advantage of being there, and I just truly wanted to see it return to that. I now sit out and I watch the people that come by, and I certainly don't know a lot of them, and I have to wait a little bit longer until I see the ones that I knew and that are still here. But that's a definition of progress, bringing new people. I've stayed at the Edgewater these past days, and every morning at breakfast I've had a conversation with a different person from a different place. And all of them are just so impressed, and the common thread is, I'll be back. And that's the thing that we were after. So I'm excited about the future.
Well, I can honestly say I'm proud to say I live in Winter Garden.
That's it.
I couldn't wait to get here.
I think over a period when there's neglect for whatever reason, people had lost the pride in being from Winter Garden. I think now that pride is back. I sense it with everyone that I talk to, and I emphasize again, we need to make sure our next generations feel that same pride as being a Winter Garden resident, and are able to say, when they're my age, I was born and raised here, and I remember it, and we still have it. So,
thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you for taking the time to come in. I know this has been a very busy week for you, and I really appreciate it.
Well, I appreciate the opportunity, and I just ask, support the foundation, the Heritage Foundation, and their efforts. They're doing many wonderful things.
I couldn't agree more.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.